students, welcome to Ask Prep. So today we are going to start with lesson number 14, in which we are going to discuss about the breathing and the exchange of gases. As of now, we have studied about the microorganisms, the plants, the animals, and so on. So in this last unit of your book, we'll talk majority about the physiology of humans, right? So let's get started. So first of all, about the introduction, how does the breathing and exchange of gases takes place, and what is the importance of it? So we all know that breathing is very, very important for all the microscopic organisms, also the plants, the animals, and everybody that is surviving on the earth, right? So their respiration and the breathing, it is very important. So each cell in the body requires oxygen to perform metabolic activity. We have spoken about all the metabolic activity that take place in the cells in the cell chapter, which is both in plants and animals. So the energy production is there, the generation of ATP, and the eventual energy that is produced within the body. So the byproduct of these activities is the carbon dioxide, which has to be removed because it is not required by the body for the normal functioning of the system. So the primary goal of this process is to ensure there is the adequate supply of oxygen to all the cells in the body, and uh, and to expel the carbon dioxide out of the system effectively. So here we will talk about the respiratory system, the transport system, and the regulatory mechanism that takes place. About the respiratory system, first of all, we have studied this in our junior classes also, that it starts from the nasal cavity and then further reaches the lungs and the alveoli and the bronchioles, etc. So it is all the part of the respiratory system. Now, starting with the nasal cavity, why we have always been suggested that we have to breathe in through the nose, because the nose has a lining of tiny hair as well as mucus, which enables to trap the pollutants and the microbes that are harmful for the body, right? So this is one of the filter mechanism which is there in the nose. So when you breathe in through your mouth, then there is no filter and we end up inhaling the harmful microbes and the pollutants, right, which eventually can damage our body. So that is why breathing, it is always recommended to breathe from the nose, so that the pollutant and the germs can be trapped in there, right? So it moistens the air also. The mucus which is present in the nasal cavity, it moistens the air to help in the exchange of gases to make it easily. Coming on to the pharynx and larynx. The pharynx serves as a common pathway for air and food. We know that there are two pipes that goes down. One carries the food, one carries the air, right? So while larynx is the voice box, we are able to speak with the help of this larynx, right? So it ensures that area that the air can trap. It ensures that air can easily pass through the trachea and the sound can be produced. Now coming on to the trachea. The windpipe is supported by a C-shaped cartilaginous ring. We can look it over here. We can just have a look at this one. The cartilaginous thing which is present here, it is the trachea. So they are the ring-like structure, a sac one above the other. Why are they made up of cartilage? Because when we exhale out, sometimes the exhalation, we try to exhale the maximum, but so that it does not collapse with each other. That is why it is made up of cartilage. So there is also presence of cilia and mucus within the trachea that enables the next level, the next stage of the filter. Those pollutants and all that get passed away from there, they get trapped in there. Coming on to the bronchi and the bronchioles, the branch-like segments which are present here in the lungs. These are the bigger one is the bronchus, and the tinier ones, the further branches that moves along, are the bronchioles, right? So this allow the distribution of air and reaches to the alveoli, which are right at the end of this, right? So this allow all the space to be utilized easily. Now, lungs are the spongy organ that have alveoli, which is a primary site for the exchange of gases. Here, the alveoli, which is shown over here, this one. And each lung is divided into two lobes. The right one is bigger, it has three, and the left one has two. Why is it so? Because our heart, which is placed in the center, it is little tilted towards the left side. So to make more space for the heart and the lungs, the left one is little, it lacks one of the lobes, so that there is enough space for the heart. Now, diaphragm and intercostal muscles, these muscles help a crucial role in playing the thoracic cavity volume during the breathing. Whenever we have to take a deep breath, there has to be the maintenance of space inside, so that the accommodation of air can be done. So these diaphragm and the intercostal muscles, they work on that. We'll talk about in the later slides. Coming on to the mechanism here. So first of all, the mechanism, it takes part in two phases. So one is the inspiration, the next is the expiration. Inspiration is also called as inhalation, matlab ki the taking in of the air, right? Expiration is expelling out of the air. So what happens in this? Just look at the first diagram picture, A over here. So the diaphragm contracts and flatten, increases the vertical dimension of the thoracic cavity. अब देखिए, this is the diaphragm over here. When it contracts, so vertically क्या हो रहा है? जब ये contract हो रहा है, it is giving more space inside the lungs, right? When there is more space inside, that means the air is ready to move in. Now, external coastal muscles का क्या काम है? They contract, lifting the rib cage outward. When you take a deep breath, then the rib cage also moves outward and upward. So that means maintaining a more air space inside. Increase in the thoracic cavity volume reduces interpulmonary pressure. अब जो pressure lungs के अंदर है, right? Since the area has increased, large हो गया, air तो अंदर उतनी की उतनी है, तो उससे क्या होता है? The pressure, interpulmonary pressure, wherever the word pulmonary comes, that means we are talking about the lungs. So interpulmonary pressure of the air decreases. Outside in the atmosphere, it is more. So the air is then allowed to move in and into the lungs. That means कि air is moving from the area of higher concentration to the lower concentration. Moving on to the exhalation or expiration, इसमें क्या होगा? The reverse. अब प्रीवियस में एरिया बड़ा हुआ, जिसकी वजह से लार्जर एरिया था, एयर को अंदर आने का मौका मिला. अब इसमें क्या होगा? The air will have to be expelled out. That means the relaxation of diaphragm will move back in its place. The intercostal muscles will also bring the ribs and backward to its original shape, thus compressing it. एरिया कम हो गया, एयर जो है वो अंदर ज़्यादा है, so it is more, the pressure of air is more inside as compared to outside. So this initiates the expellation of the air from the lungs to outside. This is the exhalation. This process is the exhalation. So talking about the decrease in the thoracic cavity volume increases intrapulmonary pressure, which is above the atmospheric pressure, thus pushing the air out of the lungs. Moving on to the exchange of gases. अब exchange of gases कैसे होता है, कहाँ पर होता है? We have spoken about that the alveoli are the primary site for the exchange of gases जहाँ पर होती है. Alveoli is well connected with the blood. Blood का क्या काम है? To transport the air from one place to other. Now, just have a look what happens in the alveoli. Oxygen diffuses from the alveoli where its partial pressure is high into the blood. अब जब बाहर से air अंदर आई, oxygen अंदर आई, it is there in the alveoli now. There the concentration of oxygen is too much. Now, it is well connected with the blood. अब concentration of oxygen is more in the alveoli, whereas it is less in the blood. So what will happen? The diffusion. Diffusion is a process of moving of the molecules from the area of higher concentration to the lower concentration. So oxygen concentration is more in the alveoli and less in the blood. So this will start moving in there. But there is something which is there in the blood also, that is the carbon dioxide concentration. So its concentration is more in the blood, so that will keep on diffusing towards the alveoli, thus maintaining a cyclic movement. ऑक्सीजन इधर जा रहा है क्योंकि हाई टू लो है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इधर से इधर आ रहा है क्योंकि वो हाई टू लो है, राइट, दस मेंटेनिंग दिस higher concentration to low concentration movement and diffuse into that. Now this is how the blood the oxygen gets transferred to the blood. अब ये blood है जिसके अंदर ऑक्सीजन कंसंट्रेशन ज़्यादा है. This blood goes reaches to the tissues of the body, the various parts of the body. अब उन tissues में क्या हो रहा है? Again the same. Since the processing is going on, the metabolism is going on, the various activities are going on, generation of CO2 is there, right? अब ये blood जब वहाँ पर पहुँचा तो इसके अंदर ऑक्सीजन की concentration is too much, which is less in the tissues. Hence, again the same diffusion process takes place. This blood will hand over oxygen, and whatever carbon dioxide gets generated by the metabolic activities, this moves in and goes to the blood, right? So this is the cyclic movement. This is how the exchange of gases takes place. Now carbon dioxide, a metabolic byproduct diffuses from the tissues जहाँ पर उसका 45 mg of 45 mm of Hg into the blood, or कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड अ मेटाबॉलिक बाय प्रोडक्ट विच जिसकी कंसंट्रेशन वहाँ टिश्यूज में ज़्यादा थी, मूव इन टू दी ब्लड. आई होप दिस पार्ट इज़ वेरी मच क्लियर टू यू. नाउ अगेन दी ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ गैसेस. अब गैसेस कैसे कैरी होती हैं, ऑक्सीजन ब्लड में कैसे पहुंचा और ब्लड के आगे टिश्यूज में कैसे पहुंचा, वी हैव अंडरस्टूड दैट. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू ऑक्सीजन जाता कैसे है. 97% ऑफ द ऑक्सीजन बाइंड्स टू दी हेमोग्लोबिन. ठीक है, उन्हीं ब्लड सेल्स में जो आरबीसीज हैं वो उनके साथ मिक्स होके ऑक्सी हीमोग्लोबिन बनाते हैं, विच इज़ रिच इन ऑक्सीजन. दिस बाइंडिंग डिपेंड्स ऑन द पार्शियल प्रेशर, पीएच एंड टेम्परेचर ऑफ कोर्स. ठीक है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द टेम्परेचर, पीएच कैसा है, प्रेशर कैसा है, उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. Now remaining 3% gets dissolved in the plasma, which is then readily available for the tissues. In case of emergency अगर required है या कुछ है तो then it is readily available because it is there in the plasma. Carbon dioxide के केस में 70% of the carbon dioxide gets transported as a bicarbonate ion. HCO3 negative की form में प्लाज्मा में होते हैं, which is formed by the reaction of carbon dioxide with water in the presence of catalyst carbonic anhydrase. ठीक है, इसकी presence में carbon dioxide then gets transported out. 20 to 23% binds with the hemoglobin carbamino hemoglobin जिसको बना देता है वो. 7% gets dissolved in the plasma, right? So this is how the transport of gases takes place within the. Coming on to the regulatory systems, regulations of the breathing. ब्रीदिंग को रेगुलेट करने में कौन कौन सी ऐसे चीज़ें हैं जो सपोर्ट कर रही हैं, जो हेल्प कर रही हैं. अब breathing or the respiration is a continuous process. We know that even while sleeping, something in the body is commanding and controlling it, right? Which part does it? Let's talk about it. First of all, let's talk about the medulla oblongata. We know it is a part of our brain. It contains a respiratory center that regulates the rhythm and rhythm and the depth of the breathing based on the body demands. अब हमारी body जब stationary rest पे होती है while we are sleeping, then the demand of then the demand of oxygen is a little less because we are resting. The external activity is not there, but the internal activities तो चल ही रही हैं, right? So depending on that, it regulates, it maintains. या जब आप कुछ physical activity कर रहे हैं, जब आप while you are playing out in the field or you are running or you are walking, then the oxygen demand is more. Then this management, this control is done by the medulla oblongata. कीमोरिसेप्टर्स जो है, they are also located in the medulla. इनका क्या काम है? Detection of the carbon dioxide level. Suppose if the CO2 level is increasing due to the cell care activity or due to the some circumstances where you are, then they regulate, they send the signals and initiate the breathing. Increase कर देता है उसको, बढ़ा देता है breathing को, right? Feedback mechanism works on the same manner. When CO2 level rises, the blood becomes more acidic, low pH हो गया जब blood का, then it also simultaneously increase in the breathing rate. That means more and more oxygen is required at those particular times. And secondly, of course, the other factors like exercising, stress, high altitude and temperature changes. So when on the high altitude, you know that high altitude में oxygen कम होती है, right? So then the body detects it and recognizes it and then breathes accordingly, gets acclimatized to the respective area. And during the anger or the stress, जब बहुत गुस्सा आता है तो कभी लगता है ना, the breathing is increased, right? So how does it increase? It is because of the oxygen demand within the body. Then the body responds and the rate of breathing increases. Moving on to the disorders. क्या क्या disorders हो सकते हैं with the malfunctioning of the respiratory system? First of all, the asthma. It's a chronic condition where airway becomes inflamed and narrow, causing difficulty to breathing. It gets triggered by the allergen, pollutant and stress. राइट, तो एस्थमा के अंदर क्या होता है? द एयरवे, द पाथवे फ्रॉम विच द एयर गोज, इट टर्न्स आउट टू बी नैरोअर. कभी पॉल्यूटेंट्स कोई आपको सूट नहीं कर रहे, या कभी पोलेंस से बहुत, इट इज़ वेरी कॉमन विद द पोलेंस, दे गेट एक्यूमुलेटेड, दस narrowing the pathway and hinders the movement of the air towards the lungs, right? Emphysema, that is a type of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease that where alveolar walls are damaged and reducing surface area of the gas exchange and causing breathlessness. Now we can understand कि alveoli के अंदर अगर the wall gets damaged, then obviously आपका exchange of gases will not be very easily, will not be very comfortably, right? So then it affects that, hence breathlessness होगा क्योंकि exchange of gases ही नहीं हो रही है properly, so that results in the breathlessness. Bronchitis, which is common during the winters or when we take in something very cold, then this infection, this inflammation of the bronchial tubes, which is often caused by the infection, and इससे क्या होता है? The mucus gets mucus production and the coughing increases. Mucus जब जमने शुरू हो जाएगा bronchioles के अंदर से, तो obviously it will not allow the movement of air to go easily, right? It will obstruct the pathway. Pneumonia is again an infectious disease that causes due to the alveoli when they are filled with the fluid or pus. Alveoli के अंदर fluid या pus भर गया तो उससे क्या होगा? Again it will obstruct the exchange of gases, that is easily. Smoking effect. Now I hope you understand that smoking can be both ways. One is the active, one is the passive. Active smoking is that when a person is smoking themselves. Passive smoking is when another person who is not smoking by him or herself but sitting with the person who is smoking, right? So just imagine जो इंसान smoke कर रहा है with the air that they with the air that they blow out, the other person who is sitting next to them is inhaling that air, right? So just try and understand how bad it is for the system कि वही that polluted air that you are going to smoke is going to affect your system. So that is why passive smoking is also equally dangerous and bad than the active smoking. Okay, so it has got a long-term effect that it forms the layer, impairs the cilia and increase the risk of lung cancer. These respiratory diseases like COPD and all, they can cause, right? Coming on to the summary now. Process of breathing involves inspiration and expiration to bring oxygen to the body and expel the carbon dioxide. Gas exchange occur efficiently at the alveoli and tissue due to the partial pressure gradient. We've talked about it, that it moves from the area of higher concentration to the lower concentration. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are transported through the blood in the specific form, ensuring efficiency. Regulation of breathing is a tightly controlled process that adapts to the body's need. Maintaining respiratory health is crucial to prevent and manage disorder. So it is very, very important. That is why it is highly recommended to do the breathing exercises. जब हम ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइजेस करते हैं हमारी लंग कैपेसिटी बढ़ती है. जब लंग कैपेसिटी बढ़ेगी तो एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस बिकम्स मच मोर इजी. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट दिस चैप्टर. आई होप द कंसेप्ट ऑफ दिस एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस is clear to you. We have spoken about the various stages of the how the gas air enters and then gets out, right? The mechanism by which it gets exchanged, the mechanism by which the oxygen rich blood, the blood carries the oxygen and this reaches to the rest of the tissues in the body. I hope this much is clear to you. See you in the next class.